Welcome, welcome to this session of cloud computing and introduction. And can I have a quick sound check? Everyone, are you able to all hear me properly? Okay, I get a lot of thumbs up. So thank you, everyone. Good evening once again. And let me get going about cloud and introduction to that. Now, before that, let me introduce myself really quick. I am a certified cloud security practitioner and I am affiliated with the Cloud Security Alliance. And I'm in the Singapore chapter board currently. I am one of the certified trainer from Cloud Security Alliance, providing cloud security and zero trust training and other things. I also speak for them. A couple of weeks earlier, I was in a conference speaking about cloud governance. So I am other than my training job, I also work in this area. Plus, I do work training in security. And of course, I train for ASK training and for other institutions in Singapore and across the globe. And in my 35 years of career, I have worked in many MNCs and many other companies across the globe, as well as in Singapore, in US, UK, Malaysia, Japan, and South Africa as well. All right, so after that, let us go jump into the topic today, locating the cloud, introducing to cloud computing. Now, I know many of you have the question today that you have heard about cloud, but what is it all about? Is cloud something that we only see out in the sky, or is something really in the technology, and where is it? Because the cloud out there, we can see it and it rains down when it pours, but the technology cloud we don't get to see. So what happens? What and where is that cloud? We do say that, hey, I am uploading documents in the cloud, but then what is it all about? So let us go and jump into this thing. And what is cloud computing? Now, well, we want to uncover the things, as I said, and also demystify about things and how can you empower this cloud technology and inculcate that in your work and make your career future proof. Now, and the picture, what you see, there are a lot of things available in the cloud. We have application, we have platform, and we have infrastructure. Now, you and I, as a normal user, we have been using the application part, and many of you may be knowing that when you use the Office 365 or Google Mail or any such thing, we are using cloud. And as well, many people who are in the development in IT, they use the platform and the infrastructure. And we always access it through our different devices that we see, your phones, laptops, desktops, tablets, and what else, what not, today's date. All right, so what is cloud? What do we think about? As I said, is it something about the weather? Or, but it's like a utility. Now, all of us here, we subscribe to utilities, right? At a home, it's water, electricity, or sometimes can be our cable TV and mobile services utility, right? Now, whatever we subscribe, we use and we pay for it only, right? We don't want to pay for it lump sum, and we don't pay for something which is expected. Whatever we need, we only pay for that, including even a mobile services, cable TV. If we want to change our subscription and add things to it, and we can then end up paying for what we added, and we can enjoy that for the next number of months. Now, for a telco, we know there is a lock-in period of certain number of months, but here it's not like that. We can change the subscriptions if there is options available. Many times there are options available, and then uh, we can change it. Now, especially for corporates, there is an option that they can up they can top up their cloud subscription and even bring it down quite vigorously. And that is a big advantage for corporates to use clouds because they can control their cost by using cloud. So what we do here, we see that the cloud has big data centers because all the things that this they keep for us all our data, our photos, whatever we take through a mobile phone pictures we take, or we record videos, we do a social media uploads and so many things. And where do they go? Even for Instagram, Facebook, WhatsApp, then any other that we know, TikTok, or it be Telegram or anything. Well, I'm not that savvy. There could be many others, such sites which you may be knowing. So all these are cloud services of some kind or the other. And everything goes up on the cloud and the data is stored. So there must be somewhere they get stored. So what are there in the cloud at the back end? At the back end, there are massive data centers. Now, you may have heard of data center in Singapore. We have a few data centers in Ang Mo Kio, in Tuas side, even in Bedok Industrial. So we have data centers. We might have enough, and even Serangoon North, if you talk about it. Now, these data centers host our data. Now, many cloud providers have data centers, including Microsoft and others, AWS, they have in Singapore, around the region, across the globe. And these are massive data centers, and these data centers are connected through subsea fiber optic cables and even on land. And today's date, it is also going and using satellite communications and reaching out to users in remote places, and especially ships and others. They use internet connect and the cloud services connected through these satellite services that are there. So about this massive network that we use, so is it really a myth, or it is something about a reality? Is it really a metaphor, cloud? It is not a metaphor, it is a reality. There's a huge infrastructure which is behind. And you may have heard of cloud providers like Google, Microsoft, or AWS, and there are many other players, but these are the major three players, and there are others, second tier providers like Oracle and IBM and HP and few others. They all own data centers across the globe, and they are expanding on it. Now, if you see on the picture, what we see, we can have on premise, like even companies, some organizations who are large, like organizations like banks at some countries, and even pharmaceutical companies, or those companies who deal with major data sets, who work with very data which is of critical nature and has to be protected. They cannot afford to put all the data in a public cloud, perhaps. So what they do, they build up their own private cloud infrastructure. So we can have a public cloud and a private cloud. I will talk more about what these are, but we can consider that if we are having infrastructure, that means we want to have ordering in food from some service, or we want to cook at home. And we can cook home, we can prepare a dinner at home, that's an on-prem, but we can also order it through many of the services which are available. We can, the benefit is we can order different dishes, and different people in the home can order different food and different dishes from different places as well. So that is one benefit of having cloud. We are not stuck into one. We can go into diversity, and especially the public cloud that are there, we can take advantage of them, and we can subscribe to what we need as long as we need, and only pay for what we are consuming. So that is a big benefit of cloud infrastructure that organizations and even people like you and I are using today. Now, so we have basically the data centers that goes behind, and the connectivity which is there. So we have the physical location data centers, and well, you can see in the slide that we have some names that I have given them. So they have this huge capability built across the globe, and they are also connected with each other through cables, massive cables that run underground, undersea, and also extraterrestrial, which is going over through satellite communication and other channels as well. So even though we say things are in the cloud, but when we have our data, they are actually stored in some data center somewhere in the world. Now, classically, the cloud is built in such a way that the data get dispersed. Now, if I am uploading a cloud, a particular file in the cloud, sorry for that, and I am saving it, say, in Google. Now, it is not that this data, this file has to be stored in within Singapore premises or within the geography of Singapore. It can be partly in Singapore, partly in China, partly in US, partly in Europe, and partly in any other place across the globe. That's how cloud is built. Having said that, today many governments today are also talking about that they want their data to be within their geographic range. So that is nowadays possible. But classically, cloud is something where we take advantage of the diversity, the dispersion of data. Data can be stored anywhere. But then when I say anywhere, it is logically split and it is stored in any place across the globe. But even logically split and stored, physically it goes into exact locations and they get into uh, you know hard disk or some storage device, SSD drives, whatever it is, which is physically located somewhere across the globe. Only which that we don't know where it gets. Even the cloud providers don't know. It depends on the algorithm behind that decides where data should go and reside, and the backend algorithm retrieves it for us. But of course, we can decide the range and the limit to which the data can get dispersed. It cannot be unlimited wherever it goes, wishes and feels like. It can be limited to wherever I want it to, within what area and geography and domain I want the data to be dispersed. And also to some commercial, of course, how much I want to pay, I can use storage in across the globe, and if I choose to disperse the data across all continents and across how many countries I want, I can want it in 10 countries, 20 countries, 100 countries, it will be like that. So that's about the advantages we can have. And there also is a security element, and we call it security in obscurity, because things are so much dispersed and obscure that we don't know where things are. So it is practically impossible to find the data, collate them together, and expose it. So data security in cloud is not something which is easily to be exposed, but there are a lot of safeguards which are there in cloud technology which can make our data really, really safe. Now, about the infrastructure. Now, we have a lot of infrastructure, and you can go and check that AWS technicians have given us tour on the data centers which they have some of the data. Now, AWS, as you know, one of the prime cloud provider. In fact, they are the first one. Now, as we know, Amazon is primarily is an e-commerce website. So they were having a lot of e-commerce infrastructure when it came to, especially year-end sales, Christmas time. So in Europe, they had to build up massive infrastructure so their customers can have a seamless uh, buying and selling over the Christmas holiday, and they can enjoy the Christmas holidays and sharing gifts and cards and things like that. However, just after the Christmas holidays over, all the resources are now almost ideal and empty because there hardly any people are buying and selling after January. So Amazon was now having a problem that what to do with the extra resources that they have built up so they can make some money out of it, because after the holidays are over, then their infrastructure has almost no use. So what they decided is, why don't they give this resource available to others in the public so people can use it and they can take advantage of it. So that was the start of the cloud. And from there, well, it was just a thought, but then The virtualization technology and other technologies made it possible for the cloud to happen, and AWS first started it, and from there it propagated. Now Microsoft, Google, Oracle, IBM, HP, and many others are also providing, as well as people are building their own cloud infrastructure if the company can. So we have data centers, which are the backbone of the cloud, and we have connectivity that connects these data centers. So they are virtually available. Now we have seen and heard of that there has been some minor outages of cloud, but the cloud infrastructure is majorly built in such a way with such redundancy. That means because it is globally connected to each other, so like internet, the internet totally fails, then there may be some outage in cloud, which we have experienced, but that also not for every time and for a long time. So cloud outage again, and to have it for a long time is of something which is not very practical. So cloud resources are available almost every time. So we have something called availability, which is assured in cloud infrastructure, and that is a big gain, because otherwise businesses will suffer if the services are not available. Now, this is an example picture taken from a site and shows the global subsea internet cable. So if you can see, and I have focused it around Singapore out here. So what we can do is we can see that here a lot of connectivity, because we know Southeast Asia, there are a lot of cities and people stay around this place. And if you see within US and Asia Pacific, there's a huge trans-Pacific, cable link that goes. Even cables come down to New Zealand and Australia, and the others go to Japan, and some comes through Guam, and then they come to Singapore and the other parts of Southeast Asia. Then they across go towards India, and then through the Indian Ocean, and then also goes to Arabian Sea, then goes to the European continent, and then yeah, Europe side I have not included in the picture, but there are connectivities across the globe and subsea cabling. Now, if you have noticed some news which was happening just a few days earlier, that there was this thing that Singapore is now connected to US, and through this Bifrost cable system. So this is an example that happens, that how this cable connectivity is there. If you can see that through from two states, California and Washington state, through Guam, Philippines, and then it comes to Indonesia, Jakarta, and to Singapore. So these are different cables, and not only one set of cables, multiple cables which are running under the sea to make connectivity possible. And these are for internet purpose, but as we know that cloud is totally running over internet. Wherever there's internet connectivity, we can get to our cloud resource. So today, if you upload some file into the cloud from Singapore and you go for a holiday in US, you get all your resources in US. You don't have to come back to Singapore only to access your cloud resources. That is the benefit of cloud as well. So we then see cloud in our everyday life. Now, with that understanding, you and I have been using a lot of cloud. We do use email, like Outlook or Gmail in a work or a personal life, right? So we do that. Even social media like Facebook, Instagram, and Telegram, and WhatsApp, and everything. Even online banking, even collaborative tools, and many other work tools that we use are all now cloud based. Anything and everything we think of today, any application tool, all have a cloud service available. So cloud has become a very basic platform. Now, cloud itself is not what we use, but the services which are hosted on cloud is what we use. So unless there is a cloud, we cannot have the services. It's like if we do not have a mall, I cannot have the stores. So if I have to go to eat, sumptuous dinners and have a wonderful time shopping in any mall, in any store in a mall. I need to have the mall. So cloud is just like that. So here what we have now, the instant access, the seamless device switching. Anyway, we can use any device as I said, and we have all these things in personalized. So we can have it now. If you open in Google Chrome and at your home and you log in, you set up and some your desktop and or your browser, everything, and you have your your favorites and everything saved, and then you go and log into your office device, and if you log in using your own profile, your own account, you will have the same seamless access, same seamless connectivity. I mean, all the profiles, all the environment set up there. You don't have to bring everything from home, carry your laptop, your devices everywhere to have every environment possible. Just before this, I was teaching some class about something, and my student asked me, "Hey, what do we do when we go back? How do I access the resources you have given me? Wonderful resources." So I said, "Nothing, no problem, because it is all in the cloud. You use the same URL, go and log in, and voila." In your home, the same environment is there. You can do all your practice without any hiccup. You don't need to bring the laptops in and out every day. So these are the things that we can have in cloud. And one big thing we are doing is streaming, right? We are enjoying movies in Netflix, in any other platform, whether it's a BBC platform, our own platforms, or even others that we have. We are enjoying them wonderfully. So that is one big thing that we are using today, the cloud platform. Now, yes, so talking about streaming, so we have Netflix, we have Spotify, all these things which are quite prominent. Even Gmail, which is, I think, almost everyone across the globe has one Gmail account. Now, I'm not selling Gmail, but it is such that whenever I go to train and I ask anyone that, do you have Gmail? And if you have, I can give you resources from the cloud, and 99% of the people have a Gmail account. So my point is everyone is using cloud today, knowingly, unknowingly. Okay. And the good thing is whatever we use, we pay for it. Now, one more good thing is most of the cloud is also free. None of us pay for Gmail, but we have to pay for Spotify and also for Netflix. But we don't mind because we are so much entertained and we enjoy watching Netflix. We can watch it alone, we can watch it with family, we can watch it with other friends, binge watching, and all this thing. And I think post COVID, we have found out a new hobby about binge watching Netflix, or when we travel, Spotify, and all these things has become a part of our lifestyle today. And Google Mail is something also has been default. Well, other mails are also there. I'm not saying they are not available, but this is something because of the real time thing. Now very soon I will give you a small demo on about using Google Workspace, so hang on to it if some of you wants to see what you can do with Google. Now well, this is just a tool. I'm not selling anyway again Google solutions, but now to tell you what is this IaaS, PaaS, and SaaS service. Now, there's a nice thing here. It's like making a pizza. Now, I can make a pizza at home with all the ingredients that I need. I can buy them, I can bring them, I can make my own dough. I can bake my own pizza and enjoy it all by myself with my family or whatever. And it's an on-premise homemade and a home solution or an on-premise solution as far as the cloud is concerned. Now, next is IaaS service, infrastructure as service. Now, we know there are some cloud kitchens or shared kitchens available. So what I can do is I can create my dough, or I can get my flour, I can get my veggies or toppings or whatever I like, my sauce, everything. I can bring that to that cloud kitchen or the shared kitchen, and I can just make the dough, do everything, and use their kitchen facility, their oven facility, and bake my pizza there and bring it back home and enjoy it. This is something called the infrastructure as service as far as cloud is concerned. That means they are giving me the base infrastructure. It's like having a physical machine at home, but not exactly a physical. It is a logical machine at the cloud side, and I can use it as if it is a physical machine, and I can do things just like I can bake my pizza on the community or the cloud kitchen or the shared kitchen, right? Now, AWS has EC2, and of course, Azure have VMs and things like that as far as cloud is concerned. Now, the third part is PaaS or platform as a service. Now, what we can do is when we go into this kitchen, we can get not only the kitchen, we can get even some ingredients from there. Maybe they give me the dough, they have the oven, and they give me an option to get some of the components from there. Some I can bring, some I can get from there. All I do, I mix everything, whatever I have, whatever I get from them. I use all those things. I can make my pizza, and then I can enjoy the pizza as well. Similarly, so this is the platform as a service. Now there are a lot of these services. Now here some example of Lambda and Google App Engine is given, but I can tell you there are many more services available from cloud or platform as a service. Basically, when developers come to develop, they can get and hold plethora of tools for developing, for connecting to the backend databases. Even database services can also be the platform service, and there can be security services, there can be hosting services, there can be also services, to test and to deploy everything. So like DevOps tools and everything can also be a part of it. And at the end of its SaaS service, I don't need to go to any kitchen. All I do is pick up the number, call my favorite pizza store, and they can deliver a pizza at my home, and whatever toppings, whatever size and made, and based on whatever I order, how many inches and things, I pay for it. I can enjoy with my friends and family, and that is about the SaaS service. So this is the example of different kinds of services that is possible. And as I said, if I can also make it on-prem, or I can build a community or a shared kitchen at home and say, hey, you know what? This kitchen is for all my family members. Whoever wants can come into my home and you can cook. Well, I know if they cook, I can get to eat. Well, that's a good thing to say. But of course, I can do that. I can open my kitchen to my friends and family and say, hey, you can come and you can use my kitchen. And anyway, maybe I don't want to cook so much, so let them cook and I can enjoy some free meal. So that can be a private cloud for myself. Then, of course, ordering or going to, pizza stores and a shared kitchen and all these things are the example which I gave. So these are the different things that cloud has given us today. All right. So I think you may have a lot of questions coming in. So get your questions, post them, and towards at the end of it, I will answer them all. And I would like to have questions coming now. At this point, I will do some demos. I'll do 3 demonstrations. So the demonstrations will be the ones which I will do is one is I will use the Google Work real-time collaboration using Google Workspace, and then I will also do something else. So what I will cover is collaborative editing, autosave, and the version history, these things, and a few other things. So data storage and real-time sync. Then I will also cover Canva, where device to device transfer and shared assets, and even also I can do a quick and easy social media posting using Canva. Since we don't have a lot of time, so I will keep them short and sweet. and do something very special. And at the last one will be going back and using AWS's one service called storage, a bucket storage service, and create a web page, generate an URL, and go live with a website. Now, I will give a very static, very simple, but those who want can take this example and use it and create the web page and very easily, and they can use them. Okay, so let me for a minute. What I'll do is I will come out and let me bring in my browsers, which I will use. So just bear with me for a minute and I will resume the demo in no time. All right. So here is one thing I have. So I will take these things out. Okay, right. And there will be this one. Okay, now again for the time sake, what I'm doing is I have done something from before. So to tell you, I want to do some collaborative work with some friend of mine, and they have logged in. So they are which is well, an account of called ITL V4. Now I have some internet Google email accounts other than my own, so which is ITL V4 because I train on that. So that's my friend, one friend of mine, or my team member. I have another team member who is called Sharbojita Cyber Services. That's for my corporate, my own company account. And I have a couple of others. So let me introduce them one by one, and they will be. And this is another friend of mine, and he is one personal. He is called. He's also Bose, Babua Bose. He is also one friend of mine, and as well, I have another person who is Mr. D. D is DevOps, and these people are trying to collaborate with me. So I will see that they are joining. Um, so before I ask them to come and join, so what I will have to do is I will prepare something here. So let me come here and ask them to set aside for a while. So I have created a demo document, and in this demo document, I have asked my friends to come in, and I've given them some access. I've given them this Babua a viewer access who can come and view. Then DevOps, I've given editor access who can edit and create. ITEL being the commentator who can view and give comments. And the service cyber services also an editor. Okay, I've given them this access. I have set them, so I have typed in the email ID and then change this. And then when I do that, they get an email, and through that email, they can access it. Now, I will ask them to come and join one by one and start accessing this, so they can do it. So what I do is, um, well, what I ask is ask Sharbodit to come and say, hey, why don't you come and access? So what I'll do is I will ask him to come and ask. So what I'll do is try to create get two of these at the same time as much as possible, and yes, so we can have a seamless view of this. So all right, okay, so I have done this. Oh no, this is not what I wanted. This is the email. Sorry, I want to get the demo. So this page, right? All right, so this is the page. And in this page, so what I do is this guy comes in and he is trying to edit something and say, hey, this is, so what happens is if I go here, I can see that this, there is typing happening. I can see this typing is happening. Okay, Sharbit Bose is typing on this document. Now, I will also be able to see that there are total two viewers in this, and I and Sharbit. Now, I is the ITL who is here to give comments. So now that this guy has typed in something, what I want, I will ask now I to come and to do some commenting. So here Mr. I, who is already here, Mr. I comes in and goes in and says that, oh, I like this. Now, this comment is done, but if you see that there is a place where it can be, okay, well, I think the ITL user says, well, I don't like this comment. Huh? I want to comment on this part maybe. So select this and says, I want to comment. Yes, so here is the add comment and say that, hey, I like this and comment. Now, again, you see there is a place where it can be marked and accepted. Okay, so this is, now also this can be done, not now I did it on my one. Actually what should happen is it can be done on this one, or it can be done on, which is on I side, or it can be done on my side. So whatever side I see, there can be something that is possible. Now he can go and give some remark here as well and say good job. And they say yes. Now here I don't allow I, or I don't ask I to accept it. What I do is I say, okay, let me go and I will accept it myself. Okay, so what I go, and because I am the master editor, so I come here and I see wherever there is a thing given, I can click on it and I see where there is a good job done and I want to approve it, I approve it. And now this one is also approved for I. So this is a good job. This one is also approved by I, and here, so in whatever is there, I don't have, meaning ITL V4 did not have to accept it, and things have been accepted, you know, and the remarks have been taken. So if I want to see here, these are the remarks which are there. Okay, so here yesterday I did some comments, so I can go and say okay, yeah, and then good job is here. Now if I am on this user, so now this user, which is my primary user, can also add some comment. So add a comment, hi. So that's a comment. Now if I go to other user, I can see this comment. Okay, Sharbit Bose is saying this, so I can accept it as ITL V4, or Sharbajit Bose, who has created, also can approve and accept it and make it happen. Now what are the things who can do? I can add emojis. I can also do suggested edits. If I am doing so, I can do that. Now let me introduce another person. Now in here, if this guy wants to delete something, what happen is they can comment and they can do, but really cannot delete thing on their own. It will be marked for deletion, but cannot delete by themselves, because I is not given the ability to do that. Okay, only either the master or the actual one who has done it can make that happen. So it comes to me as the master or whoever has done this. Now this is actually for Sharbojit Singh. Now another person is there, S. Now when I ask S, he can also do edits, and I go to S's account and S say, hey, you know what, I am also there to do some changes. So S can come in here and say, this is S. Sorry, this is S. And what S can do, S can see comments, of course, and S can do editing. Okay, okay. Now, these are things editing S can do. You can see the thing. S cannot change, suggest tongue. Well, they can do because S has editing power, so S can change its own. But yeah, we don't. So we can say what other thing S can do: comments, emoji, reaction, and also suggest edits. Okay, can do that. So this is S, and let that be another color. So this is there. Now we go to see in the primary one it is there, and also in others it is there. Now let me bring in the person which is D, okay, and see what D has to do here. So D has what access? D has okay, D is can request for it. D has no comment, only view. So if D wants to delete something, I'm trying to delete something, D cannot delete anything. Even if I go here, D cannot, I am trying to delete, nothing can be done by D. Okay, D can see all these changes have happened. D is just a viewer and D can only view things, and D can request for access, not D, it may be B, whatever. And at my site as a primary, I can see now I, S, and B, and well, there should be a D as well. Oh yeah, sorry, D is here. My Mr. D is here, and Mr. D is also, ah, Mr. D can also do certain things. So let me take out this. And what access do Mr. D has? Mr. D has, okay, got it, editor access. So Mr. D can do edits, as we know. So this is to show that all of them can do things. And as usual, I can say this is D. This is D. And if I go in anyone else, we can see that this is D is there, which is the main one. This is B, and for B also this is D, and you can see the names appearing. So this is collaboration, sharing, and real-time updates can happen, even approval. Now, one more thing to say now, because multiple people are there and multiple editors are there, and even it happens to me, because when I do classes, I do give people access and to do collaborative classworks, and then sometimes they go and delete things. So what happens if things get deleted? Now, not to worry about what I have here. If we see, let me redo it. There is on the top this button which looks like a clock but anti-clockwise. If I click on it, you say last edit. So what I'll see is, you can see that all the edits now, October 21st, 7/13, just the last edit. Now I can name this edit specifically. This is the final edit, or this is the final at say 7:13, sorry, 13 p.m. Okay, so this becomes the name on October 21st, 7/13. Who all are in here, we can see, and all the details of the work. Now, if I want to say, hey, you know what D did and whatever was done earlier, I don't really care. I want to go back and restore this version where that was made by, ITL v4. That's it. Or maybe I can go back a bit earlier somewhere. Maybe here. Okay, fine. And I want to restore this version. And so what I do is I go here and I say restore this version. And I say restore. Now, this version becomes my current version and this version. And if I see here, this is D is not there and this S is also not there. So this is roll back and enable display version. Fine. I have this version. It will come up and show here pretty soon. And I will see that these are the things. If I want to go back and restore this, I can restore this version. So restore this version. If not, whatever I have, I will restore. All right. So here what we see now, being the master, I have all the people who are now accessing, all the 4 users, including myself, all are listed here. I can see all the actions. I can approve whatever has been done, and we can collaborate here. We can share on real time. We can do edits, update. We can do a view only. We can do comments, and we can also share documents and restore and do things if anything goes wrong. Of course, we are all getting things saved in the Google Drive, and I can even download them. I can make a copy. I can share with others. I can download it in different formats, and version history, all things are there. Even send printouts, and what else? Even all the editing, the formatting things, add images and stuff like that, and many other things can be done. Even I can have contacts. I can add the location map. I can add maps. I can add tasks, and even go to the calendar. And there are a lot of things which are possible I can do through this. So this is something that is made possible with Google Docs, and this is the first demo that I have of how to use Google Docs and collaborate and using that. Okay, now the next one will be going into Canva. So before I move to Canva, I'll ask my friends to thank you so much, Mr. B, and thank you so much, Mr. I, and thank you so much, Mr. S. All can go home, and also Mr. D. I asked them to go home, and then I have Canva. Now what I'll do is multi-device. Now what I have here with me is my good friend, my iPhone. So my iPhone is here, and I will get connected to my phone, and Canva is open. Now this is here to show you in real time. Now suppose I am working at home and my friend has this owner of this phone, or maybe I'm having my phone and my friend is here and my friend wants to do something, and we are collaboratively doing some activity of something. Now so I can say create something, and I say, oh, okay, you know what, I want to do an Instagram post. Okay, I can do Instagram post, and well, I just did Deepavali yesterday, so maybe I can do the camera one today, and well, I can do this camera, and then I ask my friend, hey, do you see this? My friend will say, oh yeah, okay, okay, I let me see my whatever I have. I want to see them, so he will have to go, okay, and I'll say, okay, don't worry, I will wait for you. So I will have this, and I will do editing, and I can have viewing as well. So I will have this camera, and maybe I'll make some small changes. I don't want to show this text. because yeah, I don't want people to say that, hey, someone is stealing my thing. So I just want to make it okay. All right. Now, what I do is I go to all my projects, and I can in my projects. No, I don't want to create a new something for myself. All I want is, what did I? Why did I click on that? Okay, my designs. Yes, that is good. Where are my projects? And all my projects are here. Okay, let it be my design. Now, so what happened is, be Vietnam. No, I don't like this font. Maybe I want Canvas Sans, something like that. I will make some changes, and I will make those things, and I will, yeah. So I am making these changes. I am creating these things at this moment. And so what I'll do is I will ask my friend to come back to Canva. So let my friend come back to Canva, and well, my friend has come back to Canva. See all recents, and this one is here, so my friend can see. And my friend say, hey, you know what? Let's make the 50% off as 20% off, or maybe say, hey, you know what? Make it all city. So, and can say all city. So my friend types there. I don't type here. My friend is typing from his phone and make it all city, and then say, yeah, this is something is good. Maybe you want to do something. See all city, order now. Well, I say no. Why don't we get 60%? This is SG60, so that's make 60% off. And okay, we like it. So yeah, we can also make other changes, but anyway, for the time's sake, let us maybe keep it to this. And then I say, okay, why don't I share it into Instagram? Okay, so let me connect to my Instagram, and hopefully, so now what I'll do is, in here I will also want to go to Instagram. Let me see. Okay. Oh no, someone is eating something. Authorization error, try again. Uh, uh, uh. Instagram wants to connect. Connect. Okay, maybe I'll have to quickly. No, this is not my Instagram account. Login with Facebook. Oops. Why does it always have to go and then this one? Use password. Just give me a minute. Oh, oh, sorry. Uh, uh. Okay. Is this my current password? No, this is not my current password. Someone logged into my Facebook a few days earlier. Oh no. So, let me do this thing. It is connected to my, so what I'll do is I will host it from my, go to Canva and host it from my phone. It's easier, right? It's easy. So do it this way. Go to Instagram, and connect. Hey, yes, it's so much. My Instagram don't want to come. It is there. Okay, if it does not happen this time, we will try to do something different. Let's see. Um, okay. Well, I can try to do it on my Facebook, right? Where is social media? YouTube, Instagram, see all. Ah, okay. Um, Facebook story. Let's do it Facebook story. So shares to story. It goes to my Facebook story, and pretty soon I'll be able to see it on my Facebook story. It is saved to Facebook. Now go to home page. I go to Facebook, and in my Facebook, if I go here, I will be, sorry, I will be able to see this. And actually, this is what I pasted yesterday. And manage post. Okay. Ah, it is here. So I have this Facebook post created using Canva, and this is multi-device change and also updating the uh, to social media. Okay, so these are the two of my three, and last but not the least, I will go into the last one, which is use. Okay, let me bring this guy down for the time being. And okay, so I want to quickly go and show you another demo. I have about 20 more minutes and enough time for that. So I will bring you to this. Now I will be using AWS. Now I have logged in so that I don't have to spend a lot of time. So normally what I'll do is I'll go to AWS and I'll go to AWS login and AWS root login. So normally if I do AWS service sign in, management console is the best thing. So I can do, you know, my account. Now it is already connected because I have. So what happen is I can, but okay, sorry, it is not yet. So I can sign into, now it will try to go, and because I'm logged in, it will show I'm logged in. Okay. So what will happen is it will otherwise ask me my password, ID and password, which I will provide then, because for security reasons, I have already the 2FA things all configured here. So what will happen here? It will try to use those things. So I don't want to go. So what I will do is I will go through S3 service, which is a cloud service of storage. Just like we have Google Data Storage, Google similarly in AWS is called S3. So when I click it, I will come to this and I will see something like this, create a bucket. And if nothing is there, I will see this menu to say create a bucket. Since I have something, it shows. So otherwise, I can click here, create a bucket. It'll say general purpose, and then I have to give bucket a name. Okay. So what I'll do is I'll say that this is my web host demo one. Okay. So this ACL enabled and rest of things, let it be. Now block all public access. I don't want that because I want these things from the bucket to be accessed and publicly to have the web page. So I will do that. On bucket versioning, disable, I don't need that for now. And encryption things, and then I will go create a bucket. And if the name is not clashing, my bucket will be created. Oh, I will have to click on this, turning off the block. So I have to acknowledge that I'm doing it not unknowingly, I'm doing it consciously, which they want us to do. And it seems that the name has been taken and I have a bucket created. Now this is same thing. If for some reason this don't work, this is my backup. So what I'll do is I will now go to this bucket. And inside this bucket, what I do is upload some things which I've already created. So I will add some files from my local disk, which is I'll go to my OneDrive and I'll go to some place which is documents, and then I will go here and say this is where is it? I have untitled. No, I have errors.html, scripts.js, style CSS, index.html. I will select these 4 files and I will upload. Now, these are something which are very basic for web page creation. Okay, so I have created all these things. Index.html is the base thing, the base file. So what I do is I do this and sorry, I click all this thing and I say upload. So everything is getting uploaded and pretty soon everything is uploaded. So now I have all these files. I'll go to permissions, and under permissions, what I have to do is now I have to have the because I want to have the web page, so I will need to have this cross signing, no, not cross signing, uh, individual bucket policy, and edit here. No, sorry, not this one. Okay, properties. And static web page hosting under properties, sorry. So what I do is I do edit here and enable this one that I want to do static web page hosting, and I have to type in index dot html. This is my index file. This is for error, errors dot html, and so I do this. And then I save changes, and after I save changes I come to the objects. I go to index.html, and when I click here, access denied. Okay, I think my file name contactive.js. Okay, one of the files script, this file is not accessed properly. There is some access issue, so not a problem. I will go to permissions and check, or I will, okay, for the time sake, what I'll do is I'll go to this. Now I have created this one, and here same, oh, I think I know what I've done. I put errors.html. So it should be error.html. So here, when I did this, I did mention that it is errors.html. So that's where I did. So I will have to reload all the files and make error.html, not errors.html. Okay. So that's where I select everything and I delete it. And okay, I don't delete it. There's another way which I go to the properties and I basically edit and I change here. It should have work. It should work. So I go and go to this index.html and click on this. Okay, there is still some small error. So what I'll do is, as I mentioned, I have my other which is almost same, but sometimes some small things can go wrong. So as you see, all the same files are there, and I also have my same property set up here, the hosting, and I have something, and when I click on this, I have AWS static web hosting here. So some small hiccup maybe, but then end of the day I can. Now this one may be very quick and easy, and it doesn't seem to be interesting though. But again, all these things can be made even better. I can add a picture and things like that. It depends what I add into my JS file and what I add in my index file, and also I can make my CSS file, which is basically how do I, make it beautified and all this thing. So I will now want to conclude the demos, and what I want to do is now go back to my presentation, and I have few more slides for you, and then I will show the thing. So what we did was the live demo on collaborating, editing, saving, and history. Then we talked about device-to-device transfer, share assets, and make social media update. And here about the free tier AWS S3 generate URL and launch some infrastructure in a minute. Okay, essential technologies that we have. Today's date, what we know. Virtualization, as I mentioned, that means instead of physical infrastructure, we can create a logical infrastructure. That is a huge advantage of today's, and cloud is totally dependent on this virtualization. And people with skills of virtualization are in high demand. So are people with container and Kubernetes, because these are the concepts which are the key pillars of cloud. Now, today we know that if I have a machine which is a Microsoft machine, I cannot run a Linux based application or an application which is built for Apple Mac. So I will only have to run specific application of that nature as well. However, because of containerization, I can run any application. That means if I have a machine or whatever, I can have a VM or whatever nature, I can run any application of any OS and make my application run. Anyone with any infrastructure can make use of it. Now, Kubernetes is another form of doing containers and how to spawn them, and it especially comes from Google and or other open architecture forms. So this has been standardized more and used more oftenly than normal containers. Docker is a container which is used lesser than the containers used through Kubernetes today. Now, serverless computing. Now, serverless computing is not that there is no server at all, but from the user side, there is no server infrastructure used. Okay, so it is very simple. Now, these are used today by many of the retail outlets in Singapore, especially hypermarkets and supermarkets. They use it. At the end of the day, at certain point in time, all the supermarkets POS machines, where we go and buy, sell, pay, they have to do some calculation of how much of daily sales has been done. Now, for this purpose, they don't want to hire an entire infrastructure and pay for it the whole day, because they need to use it for maybe less than 5 minutes on a daily basis. So, for that purpose, having an infrastructure of all the and maintaining everything, paying all the price for that, is not sustainable. So what people do, they just subscribe to a service of computing the daily sales and some other statistics. So this, at the end of the day, at certain point in time, they send all the data, upload to the cloud infrastructure, to a storage, and the storage will send it into the specific function, which will do the calculation and send it back to the uh, to the storage device, and from there the customer will get it. So for less than 5 minutes, we can only pay for the number of minutes we use or the seconds we use, and after that we have nothing to worry about, and everything being done. It is like that buying a calculator where I only have addition facility, and whenever I want, I can send any number of numbers into the calculator. It can give me just the addition, and if I had to pay for every mathematical instructions possible, it may be too much. So what I do is I say that only between 8 and 8 to 5 I will send 100,000 numbers, and you just add me for it, and you pay me. I pay for the 5 minutes usage. So that is what is done today by a lot of retailers, and that is a platform service, and that is something very important. And this is something that is very key technology in cloud today. Now, so when we talk about that, we also want to show what are the things we need to know to become cloud savvy. Now, before that, let me also talk about that in cloud, few of the technologies that we see here now, having redundancy, backup, content delivery. As we know, Netflix is doing it, and any of these or all of these social media accounts are doing it. They're all doing it this way. They all have content delivery networks, and they all have this. Now, another very important thing we have it called edge computing. Now, today's date, we have IoT Internet of Things, especially cameras, IP cameras, which are all over the place. And now we also have this thing in big buildings and offices and malls. There are, say, air cons, and there are thousands of temperature sensors and other sensors in the mall installed. So there are building management has to control the temperature, and how will they know, and who will do it for them. So there are providers who own these IoT devices who capture all the temperature at different places. Now in a building is very complex, because at certain places there are more people, at certain places there are less people. Then the crowd moves, especially on the malls, the crowd moves. With that, the temperature changes, and there are a lot of complex temperature maintenance which has to be done, which is impossible with manual things. So what they do is these providers, they capture all these data, and they process it in a small box inside the building at some place, at nearer to the place where the data is collected, that is to say, and then they send it back. Whatever alert has to be there, that means, do I need to change the aircon temperature and whatever is required, back into the building management system, and instantly uh, you know things can be done. So this is some example of a edge computing, and this technology is used today not in building management. They are used in medicals, they are used in traffic, they are used in many places, even security monitoring of public places. If you go to Singapore Sports Hub, this thing is there, the gates and everything. are all done through that. So we have these data security networking in cloud, and which is technologies which are happening and which are required, and there's a high demand for that. Now, lastly, I cannot conclude without saying that AI, what we the in thing today is all dependent on cloud, because the entire AI infrastructure that is done, that are used, are all dependent on cloud. Now, I can give you a very specific example. We all know about DeepSeek, the one from China. Now, I know that very well. DeepSeek is running on, on a cloud infrastructure provided by Huawei. So Huawei is the main cloud platform provider for DeepSeek. Now, all others also use the same thing. So cloud is the platform from where all the elements are running, all the major GPUs are there, and you can make things work in there, and you can have the cloud, the AIs, or whatever you have. Even people are building agentic AIs and AI agents and going into more deep learning, more of neural networks, and more and things will be developed tomorrow, and our AI will be more and more maturing. So they all depends on cloud. And of course, cloud is secured. Cloud is very much secured, the way because I say it, because if you go to Cloud Security Alliance and read the different white papers and research papers out there, you will know that this is acknowledged by the industry players, not because I say, but this is established. And before I conclude, what I want to say is, so these are the skills and things which are available as a normal user, as an office user, or as a developer. We all have resources which we need about the cloud and which are in the cloud, and we can learn about these things and we can master on them. And once we do that, we can go and we can get certified. So there are certifications available from these major players and every others. Now, because these three are the ones which make a real impact on the ground, so this is something which is very popular. If you go to Cloudera, you can get courses, you can learn to go through them. And if you go to each of them also, you will get to, if you register, you will get some free usage accounts for 90 days to a year. You can subscribe to them, you can play around, you can learn, then you can appear in the certification exam and you can get certified for that. So this is something I would say that can be a personal goal or a project over the next few days, and then we can make things happen over the months, and maybe 2026 will be a year where many of you can have a new skill set in cloud and usher in the new year with a new, you know, beginning in mind. So, the final thoughts before I leave here is cloud is a tool, and once we can really acknowledge it and we know the potential and we use it, our career is limitless, because all the happening technologies today are based on cloud. Even people call a blockchain, cryptocurrency, anything you talk about, all are on cloud. So there is truly no end to it. And at ASK Learning, we know that there are cloud offering of training of cloud, and there will be more coming in the days on cloud technologies. There are already cloud classes on cloud which are there on fundamental level, and I know that in future there will be more offering even in AI, in cloud, in other technology areas as well. So with that, we can look into courses of cloud computing, IT infrastructure, automation and orchestration, which is in the diploma level, and enterprise architecture and design. You may look into these, and there are many other networking and other courses offered, and I personally train many of these, and there are many good reputational trainers who are there with ASK training and who can add value. If you want to know more, you can scan the QR here and you can go and learn more about them. So with this, I would now want to again just before I take the questions, just to talk about that these are the skill set there, and you can get the grants. So why don't you go for it? Please don't think many times, but look at it and decide, and make a decision for yourself as soon as you want to. I don't say you have to do it now, but as soon as you want, right? Because let's not wait for tomorrow, because tomorrow never comes. All right. Thank you so much for your patience. Now I would want to open up this floor for question and answers, which I will be happy. And I think I have another 10 minutes or so before I can hand over and conclude. I know you all have to go back, and then some may have dinner, some need to have it. So please go ahead. Hi. Is there any questions up there so I can see, or anyone is to verbalize? I mean, they want to verbalize that.
Hey, Sabujit, there's a question in the chat.
Okay, sorry.
Can have a look in the
I
chat.
did not check the chat, so maybe give me a minute. Let me look at the chat. Let me stop sharing a bit, and I will be able to see the chat. Okay, great. Uh, what are the key points? No, sorry, I don't see. Can you please reiterate the question? Any piece spices? Sorry, can you come again on this thing? Okay, sorry, I get the questions now. Amazon Cloud was down yesterday. Okay. Um, well, I don't say that cloud is never done any. Now, these are not global outages. There are outages that happen. Not a problem. I mean, as I said, but redundancies are available based on the SLA. If an organization says that I cannot have my SLA needs to be have 99.9999 percentage up time, or my it cannot be almost zero. It can be, but they can also design and architect it this way. Okay, so can cloud be hacked? Okay, now the answer is everything is hackable. Who can say that nothing can be hacked? Now, then the question is, are banks can be hacked? Yes, but how many banks have been hacked? Do you know any bank that is majorly hacked? So that's the point. Things are possible, but are they happening? Now, I have something for Yvonne. She said, any spices if I share this info, okay. Now, I would say that any concern. Now, if you want to share business info, but of course, don't share it in your Google Cloud without securing it. Okay. Now, everything that we do, we want to do it diligently, especially when we do it in cloud. And as I said, cloud is good, but you know how to use it your way. So you need to know how to use it your way. And if you're doing it for your organization, then of course you need to follow your organization security policy, and you can set up the cloud as secured as your local data center, as your on-prem. Now, Ken asked, when do we use IaaS or a PaaS? Now, IaaS or a PaaS, just like the example I said, if you only need a VM and you want to do everything yourself, you want to bring out, and then you can use IaaS or infrastructure service. If you are wanting to build up application using the cloud infrastructure, then you use SaaS service. Sorry, PaaS service. platform as a service. SaaS is, of course, it is a ready-made, nothing to do. All you do is just subscribe and pay. Okay, and then any more questions, please? Any other questions? Please come. Otherwise, I'll then hand over. But I think, yeah, okay. Is there a course on cloud, etc. security, cloud security? Okay, you have to check with ASK. Now there are cloud courses I know, but I think there could be more in pipeline. But of course, there are Cloud Security Alliance have their certification and courses. So you can go to their site to check, or if you want to come to ASK, because it's from ASK, I think they have something in the pipeline to talk about cloud courses. Yes, of course. And if you want to get certified, what I showed you, you can also get those things done. And I know from time to time there has been instances where ASK gives out some limited number of free tokens to their trainees to encourage them to get certified. So there has been such examples with some other certification. So if you are one of the lucky ones, you can get those special offers as well with ASK training. Well, as a professional trainer, I haven't seen other places offering, you know, tokens, exam tokens to trainees, which is a very good thing for ASK to do that. I really salute the management to think of such things. What are the strengths of each cloud provider? Well, of course, every provider have their strength and weakness. Then we have to come to another forum to talk about it. And well, but in general, all the services are pretty much the same. What one has to provide, other has same thing. Now, again, there is every organization is unique. So when you want to select one, there are some nitty gritty issues which you can, work with, because Microsoft, Google, and AWS are big players. So some people have affinity for one over the other, so those can be a deciding factor. Some may be committed with some products and services, so they may have those things be a deciding factor as well. Okay, I think now I will. Yeah, there are a lot of roles. Okay, if now I want to sign out of it, what are the steps I should do? In Apple Cloud Prima, you just go to your profile and you can do that. It's just a usability thing. So I will now hand this over to Steve. And yeah, if you have more questions, please make them come, and we can address them later. Thank you so much.
Okay, thanks, Amarjit, for the insightful talk. Okay, let me share a quick library resources. All right, and if all of you haven't downloaded yet, you can download the NLB mobile app to discover all our offerings. It provides ebooks, e-magazine, audio books, even newspapers. Yes, you can get free newspapers from Press Reader through the NLB mobile app and site, and you can see all the programs that the library board offer, and all the programs are free. No need to worry about that. And you can even book your seats to work or study here. And there's a lot more, so you can browse the mobile app slowly. Okay, next, and if all of you are interested in the NLB resources, you can scan this QR code here, and there are a lot of resources for you, programs, there are even some courses. This link to a Linktree site, which is very secure, so no need to worry about that. And I'll stay here for probably a minute, so you all can scan it. If any issue, let me know. Now you can try the web page link below. All this can also be found on the website and the mobile app as well. So if you go to the NLB site through the internet web page, you can go to certain tabs in which you can see there are children's programs, adults programs, and there are seniors programs. So if you click under those tabs, there are subcategories, and this is one of those subcategories there. Okay, I'll go on to the next slide. And we have some library resources that we recommend for you. There are many ebooks that are available, and there are audio books as well. But in my opinion, I think hard copy is always the best, at least for me. But I get that ebooks and audio books have a place because you don't want to carry such heavy books, hard copy books all the time. And a lot of these data, cloud books, web application books, they can have a lot of pages. So you can scan the QR code to also explore these digital and business offerings. Okay, I'll stay here for another probably a few seconds. You can scan. All right. And we also have upcoming digital programs. So you can scan the QR code at the site. You can register via the links through Form SG, which I will show later. So you just got to scroll through Form SG and then after that, press submit. And you should be signed up for the program. Okay, a few more seconds. And this is the method to sign up for a program. You browse the list of programs from the QR code. And which one you wish to join, just click on it. And after that, you click find out more and fill in the form. It's easier to do it through your phone for this because it's designed for the phone. Then after that, you click submit. And you should be confirmed. All right, and we have plenty of offerings for the next month, new digital tools. So how to build websites, create stunning designs in Canva, and using the right AI tool for your needs. Because November is almost the year end, and we are ramping up all the programs for learning. And maybe some of you might want to learn something new for the next year, AI knowledge, digital tools, they're all very useful skills to have for the future. Okay, I'll stay here for a few more seconds. Okay, and if you want to, you can keep in touch with us via our mailing list through the site linktr.ee. NLBDRA. So to receive regular updates on our programs and our latest offerings. And finally, the most important thing, please scan the QR code and give us feedback for this program. If you like it, what can be improved on, what types of digital programs will you like in future? And you can scan the QR code first to stay on the screen. So I will just stay here for probably another 20 seconds. Okay, and that's it. Okay. Thank you everyone for coming today. Thanks for staying until late. And thanks the Ask Training colleague and Samudrit for the talk.
Thank you.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay, thank you. And with that, I shall end the session so everyone can grab in the. Oh, wait, there's. Oh, yeah, the slides. There's a link at the top just now from Ask Training that share the slides. The slides on the website. Look for the 749 chat. 749. You can download the slides on the website. And you must submit the form and you see, wait, let me, okay, I will do this. Let me copy it so you all can see. Okay. Okay, yeah. Well, this is the link that was sent from Ask SG. Okay, so you all save it before I end the session if you all need the slides. Or you can take a picture. Okay, so all good, and with that, we shall end the session. Thanks for the feedback form. But don't. Oh, the feedback form doesn't have today's session. Is it? Let me see. Oh, doesn't have today's session. If not, it's all right lah. Yeah. Maybe you put the feedback. Okay. Okay, then no issues. Yeah, this one I will tell the person in charge. It's okay, no problem. Hey, you want to hold everyone up, so okay, go have your dinner. Okay, thank you everyone. And with that, I shall send the session. Someone say need to scroll down to select the topic. Yeah, you need to scroll down on the tab. Okay. Okay, thank you. Good night.